Is it still charging though? Okay, so my dashboard is clearly not working still. That's nice. I don't know why. Transmission is unstable for no reason when I have 5 bars of 5G. I need to get dressed. Oh, chat, my brain is not working right now. We're gonna go for a little bit of a run. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I gotta do something. I thought about doing the Black Canyon Trail like we did last night, but there's a part of me that kind of wants to do the loop, but I don't necessarily want to go down that way either. She needs to do something because she is going crazy. I am going crazy because I woke up today and my batteries were completely dead in the van. And not only that, and I don't know why, because I did not have the inverter on, I didn't have anything turned on at all. Like, there's no reason why they should have been dead. So that means I have a draw somewhere that I don't know about. But then not only that, so because of that, I started the vehicle this morning and was going to use the alternator to charge a little bit while I was making my coffee. And did not notice that at some point, because I double checked, like as soon as I hit the switch, I double checked to make sure that it was charging, and it was charging good. It was charging right around, 30 amps. And then the next thing I know, I look over and I'm like, doing discharge. I'm like discharging my battery. I'm like, I don't have anything on. Like I literally didn't have anything on. There was like how is it discharging? I'm charging with the vehicle. Well, I didn't notice, so then I immediately turned the switch off on the vehicle, and then I wasn't discharging anymore. So that tells me that my engine was drawing. So then I'm like, well, that doesn't seem good. So I turned the vehicle off and I was like, let me figure out what's going on. I went to start it again and my battery was completely dead in the van. So needless to say, I had to wait a little bit for the sun to come up to start charging my van batteries, and then by default I can charge my battery underneath my seat for my van. Was finally able to start the vehicle, even though it was really hard to start. And then started testing things, and my alternator's blown, so that's nice. So I'm gonna have to sit here. I'm actually gonna turn this off now. I've been babying the system. I haven't been using anything. I've been charging my phone off of my off of my DJI battery, and just been babying my refrigerator, so it's not drawing a lot, so that I can charge all the batteries. But so I got to figure out. So the fun part is I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to race this weekend. There is flies everywhere in here. Where the hell did they come from? It's been breezy all day. There's no reason why they should be in here. I need a shirt. I think we'll wear these shoes today. I haven't worn them for a while. Which, gosh dang, next time I go back up to Montana, I'm gonna have to dig my new pair out, which is my last pair. And it's sad because the newer model of this same exact shoe is shit. They made it heavier, not as responsive. Like it's like, what are you trying to do? Why? Like, it was like, what was your ideas updating the shoe? You made it worse. But whatever. Anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is about not being able to race is I've been charging all day, hardly using any battery, just letting the batteries charge. I can start my vehicle, which is a plus. The problem is I have to drive about 40 miles to the nearest parts store in order to get a new alternator. Which means I have to have enough battery to make it there because I have no alternator. So yeah, I can charge my vehicle right now, but I'm not going to be able to drive very far. So I really need to let it probably charge, because the thing is when I'm driving, I'm going to turn the switch on, so I'll be pulling off of my batteries for my van as well. So I need to make sure, but because they were dead this morning, I don't have much battery charge on them yet. If they were charged, I could have driven today as soon as I could have started it right away. I probably would never even notice that I wasn't, that my alternator went out actually. So I gotta buy a new alternator. You know, it's only $780. It's not too bad. Yeah. Fuck. And I'm pretty sure that I have a couple friends in town or in this area. The problem is I'm 50 miles from Phoenix. And I'm pretty sure I do have some friends currently in Phoenix for the weekend, but they won't be available on the weekend, that could probably pick up my alternator and at least drive it to the bottom of the hill here, and then I would just carry it back up here. But I think we're just going to give it a couple, like I'll see how the batteries look. You did that yourself before. Yeah. So we'll see around lunchtime tomorrow. Like, I don't think it'll take me but maybe 2 hours to at the most to change. Actually, it won't even take me 2 hours to swap out that alternator. Problem is I can't get to it right now because I can't drive. So I need, like, the sun is still right here, but now it's so low. I only get about 4 hours of really good charging currently, from about probably 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock is my window of when I get good charging. So hopefully, because the issue with trying to drive without making sure I have enough battery is when my power gets low, my vehicle starts shutting down systems to keep the engine running, and one of those is the transmission. And then the other thing I'm worried about as well, which actually I probably should, since I'm not charging very much, and then pretty soon I won't be charging anything, I wanted to disconnect the vehicle battery so it's not, because I've been charging it all day. Like, it probably has a good, I don't know. Do you need a drink? What have you been doing? Running all around? Huh? So yeah, it's been fun. I don't know what the hell. You know, it's like, I expected that with as many miles as I have on my vehicle, I would start having issues. I was not expecting them to all happen all at once. Because less than a week ago, we broke a strut, or not a strut, a shock. And had to spend about what, $300 to get that temporarily fixed. It's not even fully fixed yet. It's just fixed enough that I can drive around. Ooh, gosh dang it. I hate it when it does that. And then it's not even full. It like freaking bubbles up, overflows the water bottle, and then it's not even full. But anyways, so we had the shock, $300 on the shock last week, less than a week ago, and then now I'm gonna have to pay for a almost $800 alternator and hope I can get from here to the parts store off of my batteries once they charge. That's why I say I doubt I'm going to have enough charge by tomorrow lunchtime. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to race this weekend, because I'm probably just going to have to let my batteries charge all weekend, which is going to suck. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, I guess. She left her toy out here. Hopefully I can unlock the doors. Well, I got the key. So I'm gonna have to make sure I always have the key on me so I can unlock the door, like the door on the key. Because I can always climb through there and unlock the side door if I need to. Yeah, it freaking sucks. And I already don't have the money, so this really sucks. I might have to go back to Montana just after my tenant moves out, just to get a part-time job to pay for everything for a little bit, because if things are going to keep breaking on my van, which I knew they would, I knew it was due. Like, I've been very lucky with my van and haven't had a whole lot of troubles. And then what troubles I have had have been pretty minor, so I've just been able to fix them as I go. Pretty easy. Then here in the last 2 weeks, well, last week, like I said, it hasn't even been a week, where we freaking busted a rear shock. That was $300. Now my alternator is blown. That's $800. But at least I don't have to go to the dealer. Like when I was researching online to figure out where all the because at first I was like, well, I should make sure it's not a fuse. And so I had to figure out, I had no idea where the freaking fuse blocks were for that on the van. Because I was looking, you have the fuse panel, relay panel under the hood, and I was looking in there and I didn't see anything with enough amperage that would be the alternator. And so I pulled up a video, and then there's one underneath the dash, and nothing on there said alternator on it. And then there's a third one in the battery box, which you would never even know it was in there, because even like I pulled the freaking driver's seat off so I could look all the way into the battery box and couldn't see where the freaking fuse panel was down there. And then finally I was able to trace the cables and find it, and I found the one that was for the alternator, and it tests good. So it is definitely, that sounds right still. It is definitely the alternator that's blown. Like I said, when I first started up the vehicle today, it was charging great. So I don't know. And then because it was charging great, I wasn't paying attention to my meter. But I know it wasn't very long after I started the vehicle up that it went out, because like I said, because I was looking at then later on, like I didn't even have like an amp charged on my vehicle, so that tells me it happened quick, that it blown. And then because I was still running the vehicle thinking I was charging, the vehicle was draining all my batteries. Even worse. So yeah, that was fun. So like I said, I know I can start the vehicle right now. About an hour ago, just for shits and giggles, I just started it really fast, and then I was like, I'll just test the alternator again just to see if that's what it is. Like, just to check it again, just see if it was a fluke or something. And tested it right off of the alternator even. And nothing. It wasn't doing anything other than draining my batteries at 4 amps to just idle. So if I can get, because it's going to be an hour drive to get to the parts store, so I think if I can get my batteries up to maybe 20%. I think I'll be okay, but we'll see. But I'm only at 4% right now. It took all day just to get to 4%. Of course, a lot of that was charging the driver's battery too, or the vehicle battery as well. I'm gonna go across. The road is like right here. Then you have to go down like another extra 100 yards in order to get to the intersection where it's, what, maybe 7 yards to come back over here to the road. There's a couple of people that were driving up this today. One in an OHV, followed by a person on a four-wheeler. That was the first people I've seen out here. They were just gonna climb this and then just come back down. I don't think we're gonna do a loop. She won't like it, but it is what it is. I just needed to do something more for her than for me, really. Wow. You never really notice how steep this is when you're coming down. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. We have to go up that. It actually doesn't look as steep for you guys. In real life, it's freaking steep when you're running down this. I mean, it's steep, but it doesn't seem like it's that steep. Here's the little road that goes to this guy's private mine over here, which we saw him there working, what, a month ago or so. When were we here? It was over a month ago when we were here last time. And because I watched the race brief for my race on Saturday anyways, and I did not know that the race course was a point-to-point, and I was going to have to hop on a bus. Now, luckily for this race, because I was in the longer races, I was going to be able to park at the finish line and then hop on the bus to go to the start line. But I don't know why, but that bothers me a little bit more, having to leave her in the van. I think mostly because, you know, you're talking an extra hour of me being gone, traveling to the start line and all that, versus if it was just a loop. You know, I could let her out 20 minutes before I leave, you know. So I was starting to get a little iffy. I'm pretty sure that's freaking donkey. I think there's wild donkey that wander through here. I haven't seen any, but I do know they're only like 10 miles that way. There's no reason why they couldn't be up here. So I was like questioning whether I should do the race or not. I mean, at the most, I would, like, racing wise, I would only be, depending on how I feel, but I can't imagine I would take more than 2 hours and 15 minutes at the most, I would think. So that's not too long, but I mean, worst case scenario, if I was to take like 3 hours, I'd still be back by 11. But it's also supposed to be fairly warm. And now, actually, I guess, really, I don't think there's any way I can race, because I don't have any batteries. Even if I get the alternator fixed, I'm still not going to have enough battery to run the AC unit by Saturday morning. So I guess I'm not racing. I just talked myself through it, and there's no way I can race. So I might as well just let, at least tomorrow, let my batteries charge another full day. I think I might just go the whole weekend and let them charge. I should have enough with my little external batteries to keep my phone charged, because I have this one right here, which has 62%. We'll probably use another 20% today, I would guess. Well, probably not even that, actually. If I was doing the whole loop, I would say probably 20% is all we would use. And we may still decide to do the loop, I don't know. And then I have another one of these that's fully charged. And then I have one of my high-powered ones that is fully charged. And then I have a second one that's only at, I think it's like 60%. And then I have two smaller bricks that I think are fully charged. So I have lots of stuff, and I have like 80% left on my big DJI. So I think just that alone, I would be able to go Sunday if I'm just using my iPad and my phone. We're gonna, I might just wait till, try and go the whole weekend, maybe go Monday, or maybe even message one of my friends and be like, I know you're busy this weekend, but would you be able to run this out to me on Monday? So that I don't even have to chance doing it. I don't know, I might just message them tonight too. I know they would be getting set up tomorrow for this weekend, but maybe somebody could run it up out here to me. It depends on the kind of vehicle they have to use. I'm just one of those people that hates asking for help. I am the first one to offer help when needed. I hate asking for help. understand why freaking alternator blew like that. Because like I said, it was charging at 35 amps. It's a 250 amp alternator. Whew, yes, it was time. At least we're getting in the shade now. Helps out a lot because it's kind of warm out. Wind was cold again today, and it's super hazy, which tells me that with that wind, it's kicking up a bunch of dust. Just glad we're not as windy as Montana. I mean, I don't think it's windy today, but I mean, it was 100-mile-an-hour winds yesterday. My building that I own my condo in had part of a cornice and some of the roof blown off, which is nice because it's not like we haven't had enough freaking things to fix in that building this year. Freaking elevator was out of commission for what, almost 4 months. Granted, it is the oldest elevator still operating in Montana. We're still paying off a loan to get the floors, or the decks, I guess you could say. We had to get all those fixed, repaired last year, which cost over $1 million. So we had to get a loan to do that, and we're still paying that off. And the elevator was a freaking $50,000-$60,000 fix. And then it broke again. And then the elevator company finally was like, we're not doing anything on it anymore because there was a safety thing that it's always been grandfathered in, so we haven't had to fix it or to install it or whatever it is. But finally the elevator company was like, nope. This is the only elevator company in the state that'll even work on that elevator. It was like, nope, we're not working on it anymore unless you guys fix this safety thing. And then two, so many people have worked on this elevator over the last 100 years that we have no idea the wiring on it, which is also a safety thing. Like as far as which wire goes to what and all that kind of stuff. So they were like, you fix that and then fix the safety thing and then we'll work on it again. So we had to do that as well. And I know just the electrical thing, because they had to bring in two electricians to just map it and draw the schematics or update schematics or whatever. And that alone was like 20 grand. And then I don't know what the the little safety thing was, but I can imagine it was up there too. Oh, sounds like I hear freaking OHV or something. So I was like, are they coming back down? Then they sound like it was behind me, which I can't see behind me, so maybe somebody's coming up. Whew. Oh, looks like somebody's working right there. Or is that just rock? Maybe that's rock. Yeah, there's no road right there. All of a sudden, with the way the lighting is, it looks like... No, I think that is. I think it's a mine. There's definitely no road right there, though. That's a mine. That's a structure for a mine. That's new. So I wonder if those guys are up on this road somewhere. Or maybe they're parked even right over here. And that's what they've been doing all day. Who knows? Yeah, it was really weird. When I went to bed last night, I had, according to my meter, which is usually not accurate anyways, but it's fairly accurate. So I really just look at the voltage. But for my back, you know, my van, not my, I don't want to say this, my living batteries, like my solar system, had 74% battery, and it was running at like 12.4 volts or something like that, which is about accurate for that percentage of battery. Turned everything off, went to bed, and then this morning when we woke up, I was going to make some, I usually make some hot coffee and some breakfast, and also turn on the TV to watch a little, usually Dakotas that early in the morning. And I flipped the switch for the inverter so I could use, because my igniter on my stove uses 110. I have to turn my inverter on for that, as well as the TV. And then I was going to make an English muffin, so my toaster runs on 110. And as soon as I turned it on, the alarm was beeping. I'm like, what the frick? So I turned the light on really fast so I could try and look at the meter. Well, first I tried to turn the meter on, or turn the light on my meter, which is stupid because you have to hit the button, the same button that zeroes it, because you can manually override and be like, yeah, I got 100% battery. The same button that does that, where you hit it twice to do that, if you hit it once and hold it, it turns the light on. Well, I did that, and for whatever reason, it double hit the button. I must not have been on it like perfectly, you know. So I was on the edge of it, so then it was like, oh, you double hit the button. Now it says 100%. Turned the light on, and it said I was at 10.4 volts, so yeah, no shit. The freaking alarm was going off. But it's like, how? I wonder if tomorrow I should, first thing in the morning, disconnect my batteries in the back, and so before it starts to charge, disconnect my batteries in the back and actually read individual voltages on them. I wonder if I just had a couple batteries go bad. and I didn't know it because they're old. I mean, they're what, at least 5 years old. They might even be older than that, because I got them before I was done in the military. Like, I want to say I got them like almost, well, at least a full year, if not 2 years, because I started buying stuff well before I bought the van, just so I had it. Because at the time there was no vans available, so I was just buying stuff, knowing that I would need it later on. And so they could be 6 years old. I know they're at least 5. I should probably do that just to make sure, because I don't understand why. It makes 0 sense why I would have been at 12.4 volts last night when I went to bed. The only thing that uses it is my refrigerator, and the most my refrigerator's ever used is like 2% at night of my battery, so I still wouldn't drop it, but you know, 0.2 volts at the most. So how did I go to bed with 73% 12.4 and then wake up with 10.4? And I have no idea what the percentage was because it reset. So I did a manual override and reset it at 0, because obviously it was at 0. I see, girl. Yeah, we're gonna get at least to the top of the ridge here, but I don't think there's any chance in hell we're gonna be doing the loop. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of glad it happened now, so that, because this could have happened when I was, you know, going down the freeway, when it's, you know, going back to Montana or something, and it's freaking minus 20 outside. And then because my alternator went out and I didn't know it, so actually I would have known it, because when I got back in, my van told me that my charging system wasn't working. So when I was finally able to, well, it should have told me that though. Before I turned it off, that error message should have been on the screen. I don't know, I'm so confused. Because there was no, although I didn't really look either. Maybe it was on the screen. I just didn't know it. Because I wasn't necessarily looking at the screen when I was having the issues. I was just like, I gotta turn this bitch off. There's the top right there. The thing is though, is we gotta go all the way over there and then back up. So it's like, it doesn't look that far away. That's like 1/10 of a mile. Yeah, it's about like 1/4 of a mile. You can tell there's a old road right there where she's at. There's a mining claim right here too, so must be an old mine right there. not doing the loop. I'm just coming back down. And it may be more of a walk than a run. Like this right here is relatively flat, so it doesn't feel that bad to run on. But this must just get some water just roaring through here when it's stormy. There's definitely some grass, and if I look at the debris and stuff down there. Combines with the one coming off right here too. Looks like. Where did that come on? Oh, that's the main one down there. I don't know as if I've ever seen any water actually running in there. Even when we had the big storm stuff when I went running out here, there wasn't a lot of rain on that drainage. Like they're all up on this other stuff. This right here would be a waterfall. Rain coming down right here, or the water rushing down right here. Whew. Definitely hear an OHV. But if they were up on the ridge, I'd be able to see them. Let's just be echoing from down on the road, maybe? Like the main road? Probably some areas over here where you could make a mining claim if you want to do. The only stakes I've seen are all the way over on the trail over there, or the road. On the other side of this knob is where there's one back there. But, man, that looks like it's just a waterfall right there, but that's the top of the mountain. How can you have that much water rushing off right there? Here is so sketch. It's like even a OHV, I would not want to go through this section. Definitely not in a four-wheeler. That thing could flip over on you in no time. And there's no cage or anything to protect you. Whew. Because it is steep. And then you got all these freaking off-canter little erosion cuts too. So it's not like you can stay flat, even if you could just go straight up. You're going straight up and you're off on your side and bouncing up and down and torsioning all weird. I really want to know, how did the four-wheeler get past this section? I'm guessing he probably crossed over here to the left and then just stayed up high. But then you got that corner up here too. Like, OHV definitely didn't have enough room to stay to the left there. Mostly to the left, I guess. Whew, but then how did they get up this? OHV was up on the left, climbing up on the side right there. So his right tire was right down in here. I think that's the only way you could go. How did the four-wheeler go though? I guess he might have just gone straight down the middle. Probably his best bet. He ain't climbing up on what I'm standing on. That's for sure. This is the last obstacle they would have had to get through. OHV probably just, oh, he went off to the left too. I guess the four-wheeler could do that as well. No, I think the four-wheeler came through right here. That's a freshly tore up dirt right there. And then there's another track right there, which would be about the width of a four-wheeler. This is a freaking it's only going to be a 5K, but a hell of a 5K, that's all I gotta say. There's a lot of dusty haze in the air. It's not as bad as it was earlier though. Of course the wind isn't blowing as strong as it was earlier either. Looks like they went off over there. That doesn't go very far. I guess maybe they have a mine over there. The sun is almost gone. We took forever to get up here. So I'll just set you down here while I get her some water. She's gonna stand right there in the camera. You gotta be the little prima donna on camera. Yeah. Okay. I don't have any snacks, sorry. Plus, you ate food anyways, right before we had to wait actually to start because she decided to eat her early dinner. 2 drinks? That's all you're gonna take out of that? What? Just 2? You are such a turd. anymore? Okay. Did you get something in your ear? Because why are you shaking your head around? I checked your ears yesterday, and they weren't that dirty. Unless they got something in it. Okay, well, let's head back. We're gonna go back. Yeah, we're going back. She's looking at me like, you mother effer, I hate out and backs. What are you making me do? Huh? What am I making you do? Yeah. Yeah, she's not happy about it. Is it in your, you got something in your ear? Like, why are you shaking your head all of a sudden? She won't let me check her ears either. She ran off when I reached down there to look in her ear. I don't know which ear it is, but she obviously has something in her ears all of a sudden. Well, we're going to take it slow going down this steep part because I don't have much traction on these shoes. If you remember at the beginning of the stream, I said, oh, I'm going to have to pull out my new pair of shoes from the storage shed next time I get up in Montana. There was traction left on these. And there indeed is not. Nope. So we're going to take it extra careful. In fact, I'd almost rather be over on the looser rock than this stuff with this harder surface with the frickin' sandy pebbles on it. As steep as this is, but shoes are a little bit softer than, say, the shoes I was wearing yesterday. That my foot doesn't hurt today, so I don't know what that was all about, but maybe it was those shoes. I don't know. I've never had those issues with those shoes. Well, I think what we might do, since we are having to go down to Phoenix anyways to get a new alternator, is we might go down to, well, I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna look at those other races to make sure I don't have to worry about daycare for her. But also, yeah, I don't know. I really want to go down to Taraqua Mountains and fool around down there. But that does not do good for, how do I want to say this? That is not specific training for my race. So, do I really want to do that? Plus, if I'm going to have issues with my van, do I really want to be even further out in the middle of nowhere? Because Wilcox would be the closest town. They would have a parts store, but I don't know how much stuff they would actually carry. But if that's what we do, I definitely need to stop it. Find a PetSmart as well, which actually I don't think that would work anyways, because we would not be, you know, whatever. I guess if I can get, it might work. If I let my batteries charge all weekend, then I can probably just take off and leave early in the morning for when they get there, like shortly after they open up. And then, you know, like I said, I can't even see it taking more than an hour to change out that alternator. So that would allow us enough time to get down to somewhere, at least that first little camping area. And once you get inside the Forest Service in Toronto, and then we could wake up. There's no trails like right there, but then we could wake up and go to the top and run the ridge. As long as it's not too windy. I mean, last time we were out there, it was super windy, and there's a lot of dead trees out there. So I was worried about a tree blow over on us. Then we could then head down over on the other side, or even just camp up there as long as it's not going to blizzard on us like it did last year. But I'm guessing if it's not blizzarding, somebody's going to be in that nice camp spot up top. Because the campground, they close in the wintertime. There's a campground right up on top. But maybe with the way the weather is, maybe they will leave it open. Although I bet you after that last batch of rainstorms they had a month ago, they probably closed it down because I guarantee they were getting snow out there. So probably just close it for the season. That is quite often what they do. I know that's what they do up at on top of the Kaibab, like over by Jacobs Lake. You got that huge ass campground over there, which I've never actually seen open. I mean, I think I did once this year when I went by. I think I finally saw that it was open. But I know, I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want to have something open like that this time of year, and then you get some dumbasses that don't pay attention to the weather. And then the weather changes because it can snow, and then they get stuck up there. So I get it. You don't want that to happen. That's why even if the weather's nice, you still need to close it. You have to check her ears. You have to hold her down. Not gonna like it though, for sure. Like, she had 2 freaking cactus needles last night in her ear when we got back, and I was trying to pull them out, just grab her ear and pull them out. She was like, "No, they're mine." It's like, will you just let me pull your cactus needles out? And then I pulled them out, and she was like, "Oh, well, that feels way better." It's like, you know, I'm trying to help you. You know? And it's like, the funny thing is, I was very diligent. I did not do this with my last Vizsla, and I paid a price for it. Where when she was a puppy, you know, playing with their paws or playing with their ears just so they get used to that. I was very diligent with her to do that, because my last Vizsla then, you know, years into her life, especially like when we were in DC, she was not running as much, so she needed to have her nails trimmed all the time. Well, I couldn't do it by myself. And then Vizslas have to have their ears cleaned all the time. they got those floppy ears, get dirty. And I should never clean her ears by myself. So this little buckhead, when she was younger, I was very diligent about playing with her ears and touching her feet and all that. And she'll let you play with her ears. She's like, you know, just cuddled up next to you or, you know, laying next to you. She'll let you play with her ears. She'll let you grab a fold of her feet. But for whatever reason, she knows if you're trying to do something, like if I wanted to grab her foot, because she had a cactus needle, so I wanted to pull a cactus needle out. She's like, nope, get away from my feet. Or last night, like, you have a cactus needle in your ear, you fool. No, get away from my ears. It's like, what the heck? Or trying to clean her ears is ridiculous. I always have to ask a friend to help. You're like, you know, I'm usually the one that has to hold her because she's so freaking wiggly when you try to, when she knows that you're trying to do something to her. And so, and then my friend is usually the one cleaning her ear. And it's funny because once my friend gets her finger in the ear canal and is like cleaning and whatever, then she's like, almost has that, oh, that feels so good, you know, feeling. She is such a weirdo. And I mean, she could be way better trained than she is. Way better trained. I did not do a very good job with that, just sticking with it. It was like, I got her trained to sit, got her trained to come, got her trained to well, stay was never a good one with her. But I tried. She would do it sometimes. And so that was like, you know, the most important things I was focused on. She at one time was pretty decent on leash even until about a year ago, and then she just went all ape shit and was like, I'm gonna choke myself out. I swear she's a masochist. Over there, that's the Bumblebee Road, the main road, Crown King Road, whatever you want to call it. Driving down, it was so rough coming back in. I was like, you know, now that I only have a temporary fix on my freaking van, like every bump we hit, I was like, oh geez, not good. And then we got here and I looked at, just to make sure, I looked at the shock mount and it was holding fine. It's just, there's Bumblebee Ranch down there. Bumblebee tuna. Telling the story of the one dude that was talking about the people yelling at him when he was running a marathon about how he was bald. Dude, I don't remember. Oh, we were talking about it because we were talking about shorts. Me and one of the videographers and the director. And he's like, my favorite pair of shorts I can't wear anymore because the bubble gum falls out, you know? And that just made me think of that story. To tell that story. You're bald. I thought it was pretty funny. I know I'm bald, but that's kind of rude to yell at somebody. But if you haven't heard this story, he had his man bits were hanging out the side of his short. So people were not saying you're bald. They were saying something else that starts with a B. So he didn't know that. He couldn't, just lots of people yelling, whatever. So I'm gonna find another race to run. I don't know how many. I think there's only like one other one I can run, or that it's in the series. So I might not even be able to compete for this cup. I'll still run these other 2 races, but very clearly I'm not going to be able to do the one this weekend. Which I wonder if I would draw, if it would let me. Put it towards a different one. I mean, they'll probably let me anyways, but there's still a chance I might race this weekend, but it is looking less and less for 2 reasons. So, one being that I can't even drive right now. My alternator went kaput. So before I can go drive to get a new alternator, which is 50 miles away, by the way, I need to get my batteries charged. So I'm reliant on the sun to charge some batteries so I can drive 50 miles to get a new alternator. And I don't think I'll be able to do that tomorrow early afternoon. It would have to be. Because I think they're open till probably 6 on a Friday. But who knows? Footsies are slipping a little bit. That was a little bit of a steeper section right there. I mean, we're right at the top of the hill. When we were coming up, I was like, guys, dang, I never noticed how steep that was coming down. Well, now I just noticed. Nothing ever seems as steep to me when you're going down versus going up. Jeez, I almost tripped right there. My foot snagged a rock and then it rolled underneath me, and then so then when I thought my foot was gonna go down, it wasn't going down. Because I had a rock a big ass rock underneath like softball size rock underneath my forefoot. Oh, I gotta go back up this road. That sucks. I mean, we could just go down to the lower one, I guess. What do we got for mileage? Well, we're at a 5K now. We just hit 3 miles. Definitely have a 5K. So I don't need the extra distance. Pretty sure that taking the high road here, which should be the closest, the shortest, is actually the longest. Hey, sweet girl. She's looking at me like, what are we doing? Well, somebody lost their gloves. Because there's our road right there. Or we can go down to the lower entrance. She would probably like it if we did the lower entrance, because then she feels like she's not doing a full out and back, but it just feels weird. The van would be like right there on the other side of that. Those bushes. I mean, not like right there, but I mean, it's that direction. So you either need to go up the road this way and then come back around, or you go down that way and then go straight up to it. That's why I say this one feels longer, because there you're just going boop, boop. Here you're going, ooh. Yeah, I'll just go cut across. I should have cut across earlier. Except the road's right here. So she obviously wants to go this way. I would have gone the other way if that's which way she wanted to go, but she must be done. So she's like, oh, let's just go back to the van. Hey, somebody's got a mining claim right here too. Did you say the name? Claim name, Yellow Gold. Corner number, this is the northwest corner. Oh, so they have northwest. So they have a section like this. Huh. Distance to corner post, distance to southwest is, I don't know if that's meters or feet, but it's 1320 to southwest. And it looks like 660 to northeast. 660 to northeast. I don't remember seeing a pole down there though. Well, there is one there, but it's not like that though. I don't know. That's gotta be feet. There's no way that's meters. Ain't no way that's meters. That'd be like a little over a click. And if it was like even the 660, that's over a quarter mile if it was meters. A long ways. That's a big ass claim. I mean, that means our van is sitting right in the middle of his mining claim. Ooh, my legs are burning. What the heck? It's like somebody made a little bear spot right there. See, I see all these, what must be burrow prints here. And I wonder if that's what she was barking at the other day. Oh, there's a stake right there. Maybe that's their other stake? A little corner stake right there. That doesn't seem like it's 1,200 feet though. It's way less than 1,200 feet. Must be somebody else's stake. I figured this abandoned mine would be part of their claim. There's a shaft down there somewhere. I know there used to be a lot of mining up here. Like right next to the van, there's an old foundation, like a building foundation. Oh, maybe this is their corner stake. This might be about 1,200 feet. So that must be somebody else's corner stake. So if this is their corner stake, then I probably am not in their mining claim with the van. This doesn't have a name on it though. There's no. That must be it though. That might be 1,200 feet, I guess. No, there is no way. 1,200 feet would be 400 yards, like 4 football fields. That was not. That was like 1 football field. There's got to be one up there somewhere, out in all of that. I say. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to stress all night since I don't have, since I can't drive right now. There's a couple people I'll reach out to if anything. I mean, I have plenty of water. I have plenty of food. I am good to sit here for probably another week, if probably more than that even. So I'm good. But I think if I can't get out of here by Monday, I'm gonna reach out to a couple people and see if they might be able to at least run me like I'll pay for it, like call up the parts store, pay for the alternator, and they can run it down to the bottom of this road for me. Because unless you have a high clearance vehicle, you ain't getting up this. Oh, there's a corner stake right there. I wonder if that's it. That could be it. I don't think it is though. Let's go take a look-see. Just take a little look-see. Somebody's been camping here. This is actually a better fire ring than what we have over there. Must be the people that work the mine and they left all their trash here. That's nice. They got themselves a pizza, it looks like. There's an old mine right here. I think there's still a mining shaft here even, because it looks like they just covered it up with plywood. Oh, maybe not. That's just a pile. There's probably a mine that over there. See, most of these have written on their thing, on all the corner posts even. See, this is an old mining pit right here. This had water in it recently. Does not have the name on it, but I would guess and say this is probably it. If I had to guess, that was probably it. That still doesn't seem like it would be 1,200 feet, but who knows. I am a horrible judge of distance anymore. I used to be pretty good at it. And then I started ultra running. And then I'm like, oh, I must only have like, you know, you look at like famously, the last time I said this was, I think even on video, which I haven't done that video yet. My whole plan was to do some editing, which I can't do because I have no battery. when we were on top of Cloud Peak, or going up to the top of Cloud Peak, you get up on top of kind of a plateau. It's ridgeline plateau, whatever. And I could see like up towards the peak, and I'm like, oh, that's only like a mile away. 2.5 miles later, we finally made it to the top of the peak. So that's how good I judge distance. You can go, you play and do whatever. Well, my vehicle unlocked, so there's still enough battery for that, I guess. You can go play if you want to go play. Okay, well, that's going to be it, everybody. I am going to try and cook some dinner before it gets too dark. That way I don't have to use my lights, even though those lights don't really... 3.5 miles, wow. They don't really... Are you out of water? Yeah, let me get you some water. Luckily, my pump doesn't take much power either. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't move out of the way. Just let me hold your water dish for you. Anyways, we're going to try and cook dinner before it gets dark. That way I don't have to use my lights, is what I was trying to say. Oh, is that good enough for you, Your Highness? She's like, yeah. She's like, why don't you just hold my water dish for me all the time? Peasant. Okay, I'm gonna take your bell off, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna take your bell off. I'm gonna see if I can trick her into looking at her ears really quick. Oh, it's definitely that ear. It's your right ear, huh? Okay, here, let me see it. What if I do this? Does that help? Does that help, huh? Nope, that did not help. It's her right ear, though. I put her collar on and then kind of gave her a nice little pet on her thing, and then grabbed her ear and tried to look in it, and she was like, ah! And started shaking her head immediately. So it's definitely that ear. Okay, well, that's going to be it, everybody. We're going to get going, and then I should be able to do a stream tomorrow. We'll just see what kind of headspace I'm in. Since things are going to have to charge more before I can go do anything. So anyways, that's going to be it. Bye, everyone. Love you all.